Good morning. It is 7:10 a.m. I wish I was waking up at 4:30 a.m. every single day, but I definitely don't, especially when I go to bed sometimes at like 9:30, 10 p.m. I'll sleep in a little bit. But it is Friday and we still got a whole day of work, a whole day of activities, so gotta get started. Let's go. All right, let's go. For those of you that know, wake up, make the bed, of course, shower, come right here, take my supplements, and then we'll hit the walk outside. I've been doing the same routine for a year and a half, and every single day it helps me wake up, helps me get the day started. I wish that I could just jump straight into work, because the whole goal is to minimize the time between when you wake up and when you actually start getting work done. But I can't work without taking a shower, and I cannot work without hydrating, and I could work without doing a walk outside, but that part really does help too. So it all helps me focus once I sit down. I don't even know why I set up my phone to record me drinking supplements. It's nothing exciting. The most exciting thing here is my coffee section. That's the best part. I really don't like complaining or finding negative things to talk about, but one of the things I do not like about living here in Hillcrest specifically, that's my apartment building, and it's all industrial. So like if you'll see, this is a hospital, this is a busy street, downtown is like all over here. So there's no, it's all commercial, and so there's no like super nice residential area to walk in the morning. So I literally have to walk on the side of this busy street and it's not that nice, but there could be worse things to complain about, so it's not that bad. At the end of the day, it's still San Diego. Gym. Just wrapped up a little push day over there at the gym, and my central nervous system is absolutely fried. Now, I don't know if you've ever experienced what it's like to have a fried central nervous system, but basically the best way to explain it is imagine you're sleeping 8, 9, 10 hours a night, and when you wake up, your body still feels like it's fatigued and needs more sleep, and your muscles still ache, and you feel like you've been hit by a truck. And then when you go to work out and when you go to the gym, your muscles just feel absolutely destroyed and they feel like they need more rest. So that's where I'm at right now. I've been training every single set I do until failure, and I've been going to the gym 5 days a week for the last 2 months straight. I haven't missed a single session, and my body is just fried. I can tell my nervous system is fried, but I don't want to stop training or take some days off. It's just that doesn't make any sense. So. Man, my car is way too loud for that garage, but my sister is in town here for a couple days, so about to go grab brunch, going to a cool spot. Looks nice, looks modern. I have not had brunch or breakfast out in a long time, so I'm actually excited because I love food. That's all I can say. This is the spot. Look at this. This is legit. Cool steak. Just finished up. That food was really, really good. I used to track every single calorie, every single gram of protein back when I was a lot more into fitness. Now I don't have time for that. I don't need to at all. So I just eyeball the protein. For example, that was about 60 grams of protein right there. So all I do is eyeball protein, and I make sure that I hit 200 grams every single day. So that was 60, pretty good for a breakfast. And then just make sure I hit my 200. But I pretty much do it on autopilot now, just because I know exactly what I need to eat to hit that. And now we have arguably one of the best parts of the day. My go-to right now is 2 of these. So 2 espressos, the Starbucks ones. And then I'll put that up with a little bit of milk, and it makes like a nice flat white, I guess, cappuccino, maybe, I'm not too sure, but I have so many different ones. This is the go-to. 2 of these with some frothed up milk. So now we have a meeting to kick the day off, and then just gonna make a whole bunch of cold calls for the rest of the day. Check in with a couple clients, make sure that everything is going good on their accounts, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So just gonna take this meeting right now. I have a meeting in a couple minutes. Best part of the day right here. So I'm here just checking on some clients' ad accounts, but it's pretty much just popped into my head. I wanted to talk about the agency model in general, right? So there's 2 sides when it comes to an agency, right? If you look at the whole model, you have to get clients in the door, right? So there's a sales process, all that stuff, but you have to acquire clients, and then number 2, you have to be able to retain those clients, right? Those are the 2 principles of the entire model if you really break it down, right? Now, under retaining, I want to talk about just retaining right now. Under retaining, there are 3 sections that are the most important, right? Number 1 is onboarding, especially if you're on a month-to-month structure like we are, where the client has to decide if they're going to keep working with you every single month. The first month is where there is the most churn, right? So the most important thing is onboarding, especially in that first month. So there's a lot that goes into the onboarding, but it's really just about making the client's life super easy so that they don't have to think, they know exactly what they need to do. And then number 2 is just setting expectations, right? So making it very clear, here's what it's gonna look like working with us over the next 3 months. We're gonna need X, Y, and Z from you. You're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, and then this is where we're gonna take it, right? So onboarding is all about making it super simple, super clear for the client, and then setting expectations, right? So that's number 1 is onboarding, but number 2 and 3, which are also the pillars, is communication and results, right? So you have onboarding, communication, and results. And of course you need to get your clients results, right? That's why they're paying. But if you don't communicate with them, then they're gonna feel like, you don't really care about them, right? Why am I paying this person thousands of dollars a month if they're not really communicating with us? It seems like we're just another number in their company, right? So when it comes to communication, we have a pillar that we follow where every single week, no matter what has happened that week, we send them a weekly update, right? So on the Friday of every single week, we send all of our clients a weekly update. Now, in that weekly update, it's usually a quick email that tells the client everything that they need to know, right? So what we've done this week, what results we've gotten, and then the next steps, right? The next steps, anything we may need from them, what we're planning to do to keep scaling, keep growing, keep getting better results for them. So it's very clear, right? It tells them what we've done, what results we've gotten, and then where we're planning to take things, right? Now that weekly update is super important because there's some weeks where I don't talk to the clients at all, like for that entire week. So the weekly update is even more important on those weeks. But there are some days where I'm talking to the client every single day that week, and then we still send the weekly update, right? So the point I'm getting at is communication super important. And when it comes to communication, there has to be pillars that you follow, right? Because some weeks
You may do nothing on the accounts because the ads are performing really, really well. Doesn't matter, still send that weekly update, right? So that's what we do, weekly updates every single week. We send on email, no matter what is going on, we do that every single week. It's a non-negotiable. And then we also have monthly check-ins, right? So monthly check-in meetings, like Zoom meetings, at least once a month, if not more, 20, 30 minutes, going over everything, talking with them, making sure they're happy, making sure that we iron things out. So those are the two pillars when it comes to communication, is the weekly email updates and the monthly Zoom check-ins, right? So I think that's the most important thing, besides actually getting them results, is the communication. All right, so it is 5:30 now. I did not do nearly enough volume today. Here are the numbers. So I did 21 calls, 6 people answered that were qualified. So the only things that I track are cold outreach attempts, right? So the number of calls that I've made, but only to real numbers, meaning if I call a number and it's not in service, or it's like a number that's inactive, I don't count that, because that's just going to completely screw up my metric. So I don't even count that as a cold call. There's no point in counting that. It's just like a feel good metric, right? Like, oh, I made a call, but it doesn't matter if it's a fake number. So I count the number of real businesses that I've called, so cold calls, and then I count the number of conversations that I had with decision makers, right? So I don't count it as a conversation until I reach the decision maker, until the decision maker picks up, and I call each number 3 times. So I'll call them once. If they don't answer, I'll leave a voicemail, and then I'll call them like the next day. If they don't answer again, I'll call them back a 3rd time like the next week. And then if they don't answer after that, I don't call back. So I basically work them 3 times. If they don't answer, then I don't call back. But I track cold calls, number of conversations with decision makers, and then number of meetings that I've booked, and then number of meetings that I've held, and then of course, how many have closed after that. So for example, today I made 21 real calls to real numbers, 6 conversations with decision makers, and I booked 2 calls, which is on the higher side. So some days you can make like 50 calls and book like 0 meetings. So it really depends on the day. But I did 21 calls. That probably took me like an hour and a half. So didn't do enough volume today, that's for sure. But got 2 meetings on the calendar, so we'll see what happens with those. There's one guy I talked to that was promising, sounded really promising conversation, good conversation I had with him, and I have that meeting tomorrow, which is Saturday. So we'll see what happens. This YouTube video is going to be like the whole weekend, so we'll see what happens. But wrapping up for the day, it's like 5:30 now, so take a shower and I'm gonna eat some food. This video is gonna be like an hour long. I don't know who's gonna watch it, or who's gonna watch this part of the video at least, but that's the equivalent of me saying like, oh, I don't know how many meetings I'm gonna book from cold calling, so let me just not do any cold calls because I might book 0 meetings if I make 100 cold calls. Well, so let me just not post anything on YouTube or Instagram because no one is gonna watch. What? Doesn't make any sense. But anyways, literally my only focus recently has been getting my clients the best results possible and just getting more clients. That's all I do. Literally last night I couldn't sleep for an hour. I was lying in bed for like an hour because what was I thinking about last night? I think I was thinking about getting more clients. Like literally, I was lying in bed thinking about how I'm gonna get more clients over the next couple of months. This video is just gonna be the most random clips. So I might as well talk about what's actually going on right here. So I just finished up all the calls for the day, but the work isn't over, but I'm gonna have a little dinner right now, maybe go on a walk. So I just eat 2 meals, I'll have breakfast, and then I'll have dinner, and that's it. Super simple, 2 meals a day. I wish I could just do 1 meal a day, but that's not really that does not work for me at all. I can't go fasting the whole day. That would not be good. So for dinner tonight, I'm literally just having this bowl of yogurt with a ton of yogurt, and then I'll put some honey in here. I'll put some granola and some berries, and it's just a bowl of sugar, but it's really good and it's really healthy. So that's how you got to do it. That's how you got to do it. I think that having any sort of negativity in your mind, especially as an entrepreneur, in the sense of like, don't talk to me, like just being negative overall, I think that directly correlates with parts of the business, right? I think any negativity whatsoever, having any negativity whatsoever as an entrepreneur is not a good place to be, right? Wishing bad on anyone else, because as an entrepreneur, right, it's just you. It's just you, and if you believe in God, it's just you and God, right? And so I know a lot of entrepreneurs are really into religion, really into faith. I'm not personally. Maybe I will be at some point. Point being, I know for sure that God does not favor people who are negative, right? So if you're just a negative person, a negative entrepreneur, all of the business owners that I talk to that are negative, you see it in their business, right? And what I mean by that is literally every single one that I've talked to that's super negative, cussing people out, just a negative person, their business is not doing well. Yeah, that's for sure, to say the least. And you can tell, you can basically tell how much money a business is making, at least a contracting business for me, by the way they show up online, right? And then that usually directly correlates with their personality. So if they're super negative, they're not doing well in business. I guarantee it almost 100% of the time. Guaranteed. So this is a huge bowl of sugar. I don't even know why I'm recording this still, but it's gonna go in the video. So I guess I'll talk about the fact that I'm here in San Diego now. So if you know me at all or you watch this channel, I just moved to San Diego. Basically, I was working at another agency. We had over 70 clients at one point that we didn't sustain for very long, but we had so many clients. Anyways, point being, I was working there at an agency, over 70 clients, and then just really wasn't aligned with the company, right, to say the least. So decided to leave everything. And also, honestly, I've always wanted to move away from the Bay Area. Always wanted to move somewhere else. So I was like, okay, I'm not really aligned with what I'm doing. I have no need to be up in the Bay Area. So why not come down to San Diego, move everything down here and start my own thing, right? So that's pretty much where we are at right now. And then before that, I had a business online where I was reselling products online during COVID. So that's pretty random, but basically when I was 15 during COVID, that's when I made my first dollar online in 2020. And then from there, I made a good amount of money, let's just say like 5 figures in a year from the time I was 15 to when I was 16. And I bought my first car, kept most of the money that I made. Anyway, point being, once you make your first dollar online, it's like, holy shit. Like, you can't go back to working a job ever again. It's pretty wild. I cannot imagine going back to like working like $17 an hour, $16 an hour. Especially after I started making money online, I was like this is what you have to do, and you can make this amount of money, and I'm gonna go work at the gym and make $17 an hour, which is what I did. After COVID, I had to go back to working a job, and it's like, not for me. Anyways, I'm gonna make this now. So this is pretty much a Friday night. Just talking to myself, it's 6 p.m. on a Friday night. So we'll see what we get up to after this. Look at that, boom. Super good. And by the way, I don't know if I explained the math correctly there, but this bowl has 140 grams of protein. and it's just, oh, I almost dropped my phone in there. And it's just a bowl of goodness. I'm literally sitting here, I get a call, and I just talked to this guy for 10 minutes. It was one of my calls today that didn't pick up, and it's 7:30 on a Friday, just booked another meeting. So 3 meetings booked today. I'm not trying like a new script, but I'm just being a lot more like straight to the point, straightforward on these calls, and the booking rate is just absolutely ripping because it's just all about being straight up to the point. Like, hey, I'm a business owner too. I don't want to waste time. I don't want to beat around the bush. Like, here's what we do. Are you interested? Yes or no? If they say yes, ask them some questions. They open up a little bit more. It's like, okay, cool. Yeah, we can definitely help out. Boom, book the meeting, get a commitment from them. Like, as soon as I book it, I tell them, like, okay, I put you in my calendar. I want to be respectful of my time because I have meetings. I know you're out in the field, so I don't want to waste any of your time. Like, can you show up? And then you just get the yes. Yeah, I'll be there. Boom. Double commitment. And that's all it is. That's all it is, man. That's actually pretty insane. I'm not going to lie. 21 cold calls, 3 meetings booked. That's definitely the highest I've gotten. I mean, if you multiply that by 5, that's 100 cold calls, and that's like 15 meetings booked, which is wild. That's very high. But we'll see. It's all about regression to the mean, right? If you can make 100 calls and get like 2 meetings, but it was a bit of a dry spell last week, so we'll see. We'll see how many more clients we can rack up in the next couple of weeks here. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm grabbing the mail. Got a new credit card that came. Good morning. My body is absolutely fried. I was talking yesterday about my central nervous system, and this morning I literally just slept for 9 hours, and I still feel like I was hit by a truck. I don't know, it's not good. Never have felt like this before, but probably should take some time off of the gym, but guess where I'm going right now? To the gym. So, little Saturday morning, we'll get a nice workout in. All right, just finished training at the gym. Always feels good to get a nice workout in. Literally my favorite part about where I live is that my apartment is literally right here. It's like a 3-minute walk from the gym, which is super convenient because back at home in the Bay Area, I used to have to drive like 15 minutes to get to the gym and then park and all that. So it's just a huge waste of time. Nice little breakfast right here. 6 eggs, some chicken apple sausage from Costco, Parmesan cheese, never gets old. Now this blue bottle, wow, that looks really good. So just getting some work done, working on a YouTube video, but I keep my fridge super simple. Let's see, Celsius or Red Bull? Big decision. Let's go with one of these. Much needed haircut gotten. Another thing I love about where I live, that is, my barbershop is like right there, and then that's my apartment complex. So convenient. Saves so much money on time, or so much time and so much money on gas. Literally the only reason I ever need to drive and use my car is to go to the grocery store. Like, that's the only reason why I need to drive. And technically I don't, because there's Whole Foods, but I just go to Costco anyways. because that's better, but super convenient. Nice little snack that I made here. Very simple. Milk, banana, frozen berries, and vanilla protein powder. Super good. It's like 40 grams of protein, and I'll usually have this as like a quick snack because it takes 5 minutes to make. Good. You know, the next thing that I'm going to delegate is going to be cleaning my apartment and doing laundry, because I'm the type of person where I need my space to be super clean, and like, as you notice, like I don't really have much. So like, I guess you could say minimalistic. So like, I need everything to be clean. Otherwise it just grosses me out and I can't stand it. So I have to do this every single weekend, but it takes me like an hour to clean everything and do laundry. So anyway, mess up. Big mess up. I had a good conversation with this guy yesterday, but I accidentally sent him a text. Last night, because I was making calls, I sent this guy that I booked a meeting with a text that was meant for someone else after I got off the phone with him. And I called him by the wrong name and everything, and I didn't even realize until just now. And he no-showed, didn't respond to my phone calls. So I think I just lost that one. That was a good prospect, but that's what happens. You make mistakes sometimes, gotta move on. So I just recorded a whole bunch of content. I set up my camera here, basically just talked for like 20 minutes. And I don't know what it is with me. I'm terrible at short form content. But as everyone knows, the only way you get good at something is through practice and feedback. So I just sat there for like 30 minutes, recorded. Content is probably not gonna be good because I don't know. I don't know what it is when I try and do short form content. I'm just not very good at it yet. If I had someone walking around like holding a camera like right here, I'm sure I'd be really good at short form content. But when I try and like set up the camera and like just talk for 20, 30 minutes, it doesn't do well. But anyway, just got that out of the way. I'm not even hungry, but I have my routine pretty dialed in, so I'll eat it this time anyway. Let's see, what do we make tonight? All right, boom. What a surprise. I didn't want to make ground beef, so just whipping up another one of these. It's a Saturday, and I literally have not left my house, or haven't really done anything in like 2 weeks. Because I've just been going to the work, running errands, or not going to work, going to the gym, running errands, getting work done. And today, I spent pretty much the entire day making content, tightening some things up in my setting process and my closing process just for sales, because that's like the most important thing right now. And then a little bit of service delivery I spent last night. I pretty much spent a lot of hours yesterday on my clients' accounts. But point being, there's not really too much I can do. It's a Saturday night. Like, I could just like, there's really not much for me to do. So I'm just gonna go out, grab some food. I don't know, just kind of see what happens. I don't really have too much of a plan, but let's go. So I'm the type of person where I need to feel like I need to be productive 24/7. And if I'm not productive, all I think about is being productive. And for the longest time, my highest leverage tasks were always like, the best option was always just like sit at home and like don't go out, like don't leave the house. But there becomes a point once you've like figured things out, once you're like a little further along in your journey of, I guess, entrepreneurship, to the point where like you don't need to be working on yourself or the business like 24/7, to the point where you have a routine, you have clients, you know what you need to be doing to like get to the next level. You really shouldn't, and you don't need to be like working every single waking hour of the day. And that's something that more recently I've had to like let go a little bit, because what I'm finding is, especially here in San Diego, like as much as I want to sit inside and like be at my desk like 7 days a week, like 24/7, it's like on a Saturday night, I'm better off leaving the house and like going to do something, even if just like grabbing food. Like I'm better off doing that than sitting at my desk and like, I don't know, reading a book. Like there's nothing else that I could be doing that's like super productive at this time of day, at least in this phase right now. Because like I was mentioning earlier, when it comes to agency, there's two things, right? There's client acquisition and then there's service delivery, right? And when it comes to client acquisition, I spent hours today refining my setting process and closing process, learned a couple things, implemented them into my process, put them like into our SOPs. And then I made a whole bunch of content. I spent a couple hours making some content. So that's client acquisition, that's done. And then service delivery, it's Saturday. There's absolutely no work to do for like my clients. So I just built out some SOPs for our operations process, optimization process, I guess you could say. Like once a client, past onboarding, once a client has come in, I just built out some SOPs for that. And like, there's really nothing else to do. And what I found was I used to like always like try and force myself to like be working like 24/7. But like the truth is I'm not going to get anything productive or really meaningful done right now at 7 p.m. on a Saturday. And I want to go out and get some food. So like, that's what I'm going to do. And I think it really only becomes a problem if you go out every single weekend, like you leave the house, like every single night you go and do something, like that's a problem. But I do not leave my house. Like I have to literally, I'm debating whether or not I should leave my house. Like I'm making this video essentially because I left the house. So I don't have a problem of not being able to work, not being able to get stuff done, because Monday through Friday and like pretty much all day on the weekends, I don't leave the house. I go to the gym and that's literally it. And the rest of the day I'm just at home working. So point being, there really becomes a time when you have to decide, okay, is the highest leverage task me staying in 24/7, like 365, or should I like go out and like do something? Because I think especially in the early stages of entrepreneurship, you're always like, you always want to do something like 24/7. You want to be like working. You're like, I need to work 24/7. I need to get something done, which is good, but it's kind of like diminishing returns. Like you're not going to be doing anything that's super productive on a 7 p.m. on a Saturday. And another thing too is like being afraid to spend money. I remember I used to be so afraid to spend money. Like I would feel guilty if like I went out and had a $30 meal versus like eating at home. That's like the complete, like the worst mindset to have. Because if you're thinking that way, you're basically thinking like an employee, right? You're basically thinking like, okay, I make this much per month. I make $5K per month. And so I need to save as much as I can so that I can put as much of it towards my savings. Which if you're an employee, then that's like a good mindset to have. But as an entrepreneur, if you're an entrepreneur watching this, you have to, this guy is gonna hit me or what? You have to, oh my gosh. These people are crazy. Oh my God. These people are almost about to hit me. Of course there's some stupid chicks. Wow, okay. Anyways, point being, if you're an entrepreneur and you're constantly thinking about like saving money, like don't go out, like don't spend money, like that is not going to serve you, right? Like the times when I have literally doubled the amount of business that I've done, like made the most amount of money like month over month, were the times when like I was just like not spending money like an idiot, like just, you know, buying things, but like not thinking about like, oh, I need to save money. So for example, like I used to catch myself, like a best example, I used to catch myself like on a night like tonight where I'd be like, oh, I want to like go and spend $30 on some food. Be like, no, like you have to save $30. It's like yes, would the smarter move financially be like staying home and eating your meal at home? Yes. But is that $30 like gonna make a big difference? No. And if it's going to help you, like, as an entrepreneur, your goal is to grow your business, right? Which is to make more money. So if you're, as a consumer, you're thinking the opposite way, like, how can I spend less? How can I save all my money? Then the market, like when you're trying to sell your product or you're trying to grow your business, the market is not gonna reward you, right? That's just like a basic principle that I have. And I feel like it served me really, really well. Because like I said, when my business has grown the most, it's been on the times where I've just been like, okay, like I want to go to dinner, you know, maybe it's like 50, 60 bucks. Like I go like once a week, like, so what? It's not the end of the world, right? So anyway, point being, that's where I was almost catching myself tonight. I was almost like, oh, I could stay home and like, you know, save money and just like eat dinner. But it's like, I want to get some food. Like, anyway, I don't even know what this video is turning into, but got the dog out the window. Man, this is crazy. Anyways, and actually, point being, I just realized after I said that, I moved to San Diego a month and a half ago, and I've made the most money in the last month that I've ever made in my life. Literally because I switched from that mindset. Like, that was the biggest switch when I moved down here. Was I've always thought that, but then I pretty much made it real because I added on a whole bunch of expenses, and I was like, okay, like I'm completely shifting from this, like this mindset of like, oh, I need to save money on rent, I need to save money on XYZ. Completely shifted my mindset from that to, okay, like if I want to really afford this type of lifestyle, I need to be able to make a lot more money. And then boom, moved, made the most money I've ever made in the last month. Like, proof is in the pudding. Wow. This is why I pay all this money to live here. So, just got some sushi, some food. Everyone's going out. It's Saturday. That shit does not excite me, man. So, I ended up getting some ice cream in Little Italy. I don't know why. I just wanted ice cream, but still gonna be up early tomorrow, so it's all good. So, decided to go to Pacific Beach. Went to this pretty cool restaurant, like right on the beach. I kind of want to go there more. It's a nice little spot. It's called like JRDN, I think. If you're ever in Pacific Beach, check it out. It's cool. But I just got some sushi, and then I headed over to Little Italy, and I got this ice cream spot. It's called Salt and Straw. It's really good. And that's like pretty much my weekly highlight. That's like the only thing I really care about doing is like getting food, like eating out once a week. But that's it. Just gonna get ready for bed. See what time we wake up. It's like almost 10:30 now, so I don't want to die with zero sleep tomorrow, but I do want to wake up early, so we'll see. Good morning. It's already Sunday. Just crazy. I don't know how these weekends go by so fast, but starting the day off today, gonna do a quick like 45 minute walk, active rest day. Yeah, nothing too exciting. We're just gonna go around the neighborhood, and then we got some activities. So this is where I like to walk. Super nice neighborhood, quiet. It's like 15-20 minutes away from my apartment, so that's a thing. When I do my walks, my longer walks, I come over here, and it's a lot nicer than walking in the street with all the cars and homeless people. So we are on the way to Pacific Beach. Gonna go check out this event. We'll see what it's really about. So just wrapped up the event. It was called Coffee and Chill, and it's every other Sunday. Basically, it's a health and wellness event. So they have coffee, A whole bunch of like small healthy startups bring their products, and they have like cold plunges, saunas. It's pretty cool because, you know, a lot of people in San Diego, especially in Pacific Beach, it's like a lot of party culture, a lot of, you know, drinking culture. But then it's like the opposite too. You know, you have the health culture where people, you know, maybe they drink, but you know, there's the health culture aspect too. So pretty cool. Met some people. Definitely excited to go back again, probably in 2 weeks. That's really the biggest thing, is just trying to meet as many people as possible, because I'm down here, I don't know too many people. So events like that, like-minded people, always good. Walking around PB now. I think I might grab some food somewhere. It's the only thing about living in San Diego. If you don't know anyone and you don't have any friends, it's kind of hard to like do anything, because everything is like a social event. But meet some more people. That's like the best event for me, at least. I've been to Run Club. I've like tried Cars and Coffee, like all these different things. Cars and Coffee, just people don't really want to socialize. They're more or less just like looking at the cars, and it's a good crowd of people, but it's not a social event. And then Run Club is like really social, but it's just way too young. Like no one wants to talk about business. No one's an entrepreneur. Everyone just wants like escape their life. This was good though. This was good. It was like a lot of girls, a lot of guys though that are like in shape, care about their health. A lot of entrepreneurs. So good event. Definitely recommend if you're in San Diego. So we are here at the spot, Van Man's. This looks legit. So that place is grass-fed burgers, tallow fries, so like healthy burger spot. And it was $6 for a burger, which in California, that is ridiculously cheap. There's another place up in San Jose. It's called 6th Street Burger. And it's like the same thing, but it's like double or triple the price. Probably like $15 for the same thing. So pretty good spot. If you're in Pacific Beach, check it out. It's called Van Man's. All right, just got home, took a nice little shower. Probably gonna be super sunburned after that, but need to start getting tan because summertime's coming. It's like 3:30 right now, so just get some work done. I have a couple videos I have to edit. Got to edit some clients' stuff. So yeah, just knock out a couple things I got to do. So for the third night in a row, I'm having yogurt bowl, which is funny because I want ground beef with rice for dinner, but I really need to eat these berries or else they're all gonna go bad. So, oh well. So this is literally what I have: yogurt, and then I'll put protein powder, usually 1 scoop, and then some honey. I'll stir it up, and then on top I'll put this granola, specifically this brand, some berries, and then more honey. And that is the finished product. It's like 150 grams of protein. All right, so just got some stuff done, kind of planned, prepared for the week, because this week I'm traveling, so it's gonna be a little bit different, gonna be like kind of thrown out of my routine for the first time since moving here 2 months ago. But every single, I have to put my socks on, but I don't want to waste time. Every single Sunday I plan out my week. So I plan out my structure for the week, but then I try to plan out as much as I can when it comes to like what I'm actually doing, when it comes to, you know, working within the business, right? But most of the stuff I'm doing right now is a lot of, you know, client fulfillment and then just sales. So the only thing that I really plan out is content. And then everything else is kind of just day-to-day stuff right now. And then when I have ideas for like new systems or, you know, new things to implement, I have like a task, not a task list, but like inside my Notion, because I think everyone here probably uses Notion. This is like not a good angle. Inside my Notion, whenever I have a good idea or I'm watching a video and I get an idea, I literally just write it down and then put it like on my task list. And then my task list, my to-do list, a big problem that, you know, people have with to-do lists is that there's no execution date and there's no due date. So instead of having my to-do list like a list of just stuff, I change it to a calendar. So I just use a calendar, and then if I, like today, I realized I need to have a VSL specifically that I send people after I cold call them and set the meeting. I need to make a better one just because I already have one, but it's not that good. So I was watching a video, he mentioned that, wrote it down, put a quick framework, and then now I'm gonna execute on that tomorrow and build that out so I can start increasing my show rate, because my show rate is like 50% right now, which it should be way higher. That's not good. It should be like 70%. 70 is good. 70 is what I'm aiming for at least. So anyway, that's my methodology, is just to write everything down. It sounds super simple, but the problem with, like I said, is if you're just writing things down like in your Apple Notes, for example, they're probably never gonna get done. So that's why I use a Notion calendar, and then I set tasks for when I actually wanna do them, so that now I know exactly what I'm gonna execute on tomorrow. This is literally my second time stepping foot on the beach in the last 2 months. The only other time was in La Jolla. Feels good. I need to get out here more. So, super nice sunset at the beach. Man, I'm so glad I moved to San Diego, but that's besides the point. That's like a typical weekend. Just kind of work, get some stuff done. Usually I work more. This weekend was like a little less work, but excited for this week. I have Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I'm just gonna work all day, and then I'm traveling on Thursday. So I'll make a video on that. I'll make a video on traveling and where I'm going and whatnot. Nothing too exciting, but traveling is still fun. So I'm gonna get home now, get to bed by like 8 p.m. Tomorrow I'll be up at like 4:30 and start the day off right. See if we can close some new clients this week. We will see. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna end this video here. Just gonna go to bed, drive home, listen to some music, and get some sleep for a good day tomorrow. Peace.